That bass actually is going to make an appearance at the end of the video, although you'll probably see it along with the video. Hello, we are here again this year to give you a gift guide. Do you have a bass player in your life? Do you have a beloved bass player in your life that you need to maybe buy a gift for? Maybe that beloved bass player is you. A little self-care around the holidays, Shaz, right? It's fine.
If you are that bass player, make sure to share this video with your loved ones so that they know what to get you.
Absolutely. We had so much fun. This is my amazing co-host, Sharon Reynolds. We had so much fun last year doing this gift pod. We had to do another one for you. And Sharon teased me. You teased me, dude, about all kinds of my picks. I was talking about a paintbrush to get the dust off your pedals. I was talking about yes, but you got one. That's the thing. You're like, that's so lame, and then you got one.
Which, I mean, I guess that says a lot about your list because I was gifted a paintbrush. Shout out to RKM, my dudes who gifted me a paintbrush.
That's incredible. Amazing. Also, I had a nail clipper in there. You're like, no, you drew the line at that. So look,
I did. I still draw the line.
For you, Shaz, I tried to up level this year. And we've got to blitz through this because I think we've got about 36 things. Before I dive in, let me tell you all that we don't have affiliate links. We're going to give you the links in the description, but we do not benefit from any of the stuff that we're talking about, except for that $200 price point SBL membership that I'm going to get to in a little bit. We will benefit from that. But anything else, like if you're thinking, God, Ian and Sharon sound like shills on this podcast, we might sound that way, but we're not. These are just things actually that the team, Scott, Sharon, and myself have all used and really enjoyed. And we just wanted to spread the good ideas. We're starting with $1 and we're going all the way up to $1,000. Sharon's going to be pulling up some images for you. So if you're watching on YouTube, you'll get that benefit. And you ready to dive in, Shaz?
Let's do it.
Oh, number one is a pick. Listen, if you think it's the devil's toenail, you are incorrect. It's just another way to hit the string of the bass and make an amazing sound. That pick, as I drop it, is my favorite pick right there that Sharon pulled up. The Gator grip, the Dunlop Gator grip 96. Best pick in the world. I've got one right here. I have a bunch of them.
I will second that as well.
You like it?
Yes. I use this one and the size up. Between those two, I go back and forth. And yeah, can't say I don't agree with that one.
They're great. I love the material. I love how they tumble these two. They have kind of a really nice, like, talky feel. Now, you can buy a pack. You see here, you can buy a pack for $5.50, but it goes in the $1 spot because you can also just roll into your shop, right, into a music store and grab one pick if you want. It's a really fun thing to do. A great way to change the sound of your bass. Buy a bunch of picks. See what you like the best. This is my pick for a pick, though, right here. Are we ready for number 2? Let's move on.
Do it.
Amazon Basics tripod. Now, look, we're entering into, here's a little bit of content creation stuff, right? So if the bass player in your life or you is like, I've always kind of wanted to shoot some stuff for Instagram or for YouTube, this tripod, the very one that Sharon pulled up here, same one that I have, I still shoot camera or like phone stuff on this. So I have a phone mount that I'll get to here in a minute, but this is cheap, right? This is what it's $25 at the moment
right now. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's awesome. It's not the highest quality, the most sturdy, but for setting up and shooting with your phone, it's amazing. And so don't let, like, oh, I don't have really amazing gear. Like I shot on this tripod probably the first 2 years of being with SBL.
Really? I didn't know that.
Absolutely. And I got a fancy thing now, but you know what? Holds the camera just the same. So if it's stationary or you're even kind of running and gunning, $25, it gets you in the door. That's great. And that moves me to my next thing, which is the JOBY phone tripod. So that's like a GorillaPod, right? So yeah, this thing is amazing if you want to set something on the desk, right? It gives you a phone mount. So the cool thing about this is it slips into a bag. You can shoot from your desk. And then this phone mount you can use on that particular stand, or you can pull it off and use it on your Amazon Basics tripod, which is very nice.
These stands, these like wiggly stands, you can bend them and you can like attach them to other things, which make them so much more useful than just like on a desk. Like you can hook it to your car somehow or onto like a mic stand and stuff. Really useful. I really like these.
Totally. Or like, if you're doing a set and you're like, I've always wanted to capture that third song of the set or whatever. You're like, you know what? I'm just going to live stream a set that I'm doing. Something like this. Exactly. Like Sharon says, you can bend the arms, attach it to your rig, attach it to the lighting truss, attach it to a mic stand. And so in the door, like you have two really nice tripod options for under $30. One comes with a phone mount. Awesome. All right. How are we doing so far, Sharon?
So far, so good. I agree with all of these. So far, no nail clippers. Definitely can stand behind this.
Look, I tried to up level for you. I feel like you might endorse all of these. Not actually endorse them, but you might be pumped. You're pulling up the Nordymute. That's the next thing on the list. Do you have one of these, Shaz?
I do not have one of these, but I do know that I was the one who added it to this list because want one of these.
Yeah, I think we talked about this last year, but these are so cool. And shout out to Carrie, who's just an awesome dude, Carrie Nordstrand, who makes great basses, great pickups, great accessories. This, he has like leftover wood from building, and he's made these cool mutes where it's, foam. And so what it is you take your bass, right? And then you can just pop this mute right on the strings by the bridge. I think it actually looks really nice.
I agree.
And it just totally mutes the bass down. So you get that sort of like thumpy foam mute vibe. Yeah, Sharon's got it pulled up here too. Sounds great. It's easy to pull off. It's a little bit easier than like sticking foam underneath your strings, right? Also, I feel like sometimes when I put foam underneath my strings, it pushes my strings up and the bass gets really sharp. This still pulls the bass or pushes the bass sharp a bit, but not as much. So it's a little, and depending on how, where you have it and how far down it's pushed, you can get different string spacings. It sort of mitigates that thing of like completely pulling your bass way sharp and out of tune.
Question for those of us who don't have one of these cool gadgets.
Yeah.
Do you leave it on a bass? Like, does it come off easily? Would it be something that, like, I'm really prone to losing things, and this is one of those things that I would easily lose?
Okay, great question. Like, in terms of fit, it's very snug. So once it's on there, like, there is no way that you could, like, shake it off the bass.
Put it into your bass case with it on, or no?
You totally could. I mean, it might push it up a little bit, but it probably wouldn't like completely take it off. There's a bit of force required to like get it off, put it on the bass, and then pulling it off is pretty simple. Nice. But when it's on there, it's pretty snug. Yeah, that's the $40 option, you guys, and I'm telling you, that's a fun grab. And
they have different kind of woods, and they have different string spacings, and I believe they have 4 and 5 string options. Am I correct in
My mom bought me one of these for Christmas years ago, Sharon.
That is very cute.
My mom is the best.
That is also very, very educated.
And shout out to Beth. She's the best. She's the best mom. Okay, cool. Oh, we're moving on to $45. The Tackle Bag Essentials. This is actually run now by McPherson Goods. This is a company, McPherson is attached to a drum brand called Tackle, and they make like really cool, kind of wax canvas and leather and kind of heritage looking products for drums, like cymbal bags, snare bags, stick bags, but they always made this accessory bag that's incredible. And now Scott McPherson, who runs McPherson Goods, has it just on his page. And this page is delicious. If you like anything kind of like that sort of heritage wax canvas vibe, if you like Filson products or this kind of look, this is just delicious. And they make an amazing backpack as well, which, this is more expensive than what we've got here, but the vibe is so great, right? Wax canvas and leather. And this is the coolest. This is one of my favorite $45 items of all time. If you look in, it's got the like railroad, like the conductor fabric. And it's just awesome for putting stuff in, right? So I've got, like I've got my notebook. I've got, wireless or like phone charger. I've got chapstick. I've got a pen. I've got, assorted dongles and picks and adapters and
do you have a nail clipper or?
I should have a nail clipper in here. I should have a nail clipper. You know what I do have though? My favorite pen. This should be on the list. This is the Zebra F701. You see this and you're like, wow, that's got to be probably like an $80 pen. All metal, isn't it? A delightful ASMR. Click. These are like $8, you guys.
Seriously?
Yeah. The Zebra F701. It's the best pen in the world. I love this pen. Anyway, yeah. But the McPherson Goods bag is incredible. They also come in black as well. You finding me that Zebra pen? Let's bust it out.
I want to see.
Sharon's going rogue. F701. Click on it. Let me see if I was right about that price. Yeah, the metal one.
Here. Oh, 807.
807. You guys, don't be fooled by the pen bros that are like, now to get a quality writing utensil, you need to spend $700 or even $50. That pen is dope. It's a great pen. It's heavy. I actually used it. I used it at a place and I was like, whoa. And I was like writing something. I can't even remember. I was at a car dealership and I was signing something because I bought a car, right? And I was like, this pen is amazing. Like, is this like 100? Is like a nice pen? He's like, Amazon, $8. Shout out to you, Paul, at Maury's Ford. Killing it, man. It's a great pen. Okay. We're a little off the rails. We're a little unhinged, Shaz. but I'm feeling good. I'm having a great time. I love talking about products. I know, like, I'm such a salesman, but I don't mean to be. Like, I'm not trying to. It doesn't benefit me. Like you buying this does nothing for me other than I'm pumped for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you buying this, I get nothing out of it other than warmth in my heart of you buying an awesome product. Also, Scott McPherson is amazing. He's a great drummer. He's a friend. But like, yeah, this does not financially benefit me, but it will benefit you because you'll touch the wax canvas. Do you know what I'm saying, Sharon? Right?
I actually, when I was at yours, I did not look at that. Now I'm a little bummed. I feel like I need to. I added that to my Secret Santa list last year as a wish list, and I did not get it.
Oh, the saddest of all days. Hopefully this year, Sharon. We're going to move over to strings, and we're going to actually take a bump down in price for a moment because we're going to take a look at the Dunlop Superbright nickels. They come in steel as well. I have been using these rounds. These are round strings. They're called Superbrights, and they start out very bright, but they mellow in, and gosh, they're just great at every phase. I like them when they're new. I like them after they break in a little, and even when they're dead, I think they sound really good. And even they have a really nice, flexible feel. They're not super stiff, so the tension is lighter than maybe you might be used to on a standard 45 to 105 by Diodario, for instance. And they're crispy cheap. $22.
For real, though.
Yeah. For a set of rounds. Also, FYI, if you get an SBL membership, you know what you get? Sharon, do you know what you get?
You get roped into the partner program, and I believe Dunlop is in that.
Hold on. It's not roped. You get invited. You get ingratiated into the partner program.
I say roped because you're gonna want to go in there and you're gonna want to spend your money because there's so many cool things.
Yeah, it's true.
I have spent a significant amount of time scrolling that partners page to see what all I can get discounts on. So
I think they do these at half price. And
half of 22?
I don't quote me on that. But they're cheaper than 22. I know that's true with the partner program, which is freaking awesome. They're already cheap. And I have these on a bunch of my basses. They're freaking awesome. These strings are great. They're my favorite nickel round. So that's cool. Okay, Sharon's looking up the partner program right now. Let's see. Can we keep going with strings, Shaz?
Absolutely, we can keep growing with strings.
Okay, let's do now. So now we're going to bump up a bit because we are going to do
I can't find
Labella Flats. And listen, these Labella Flats are amazing. These are like they started out as under the Alinto brand, but this is a very, very cool set of flat wounds. The gauges, I guess this is the 5-string set. We can get the 4-string set as well. I have these on a couple of bases, and I have these on this bass at the moment. And let me just show you really quick. The sound of these strings is super old school and chocolatey and warm, but with a ton of sustain. So like if you have a bass that you want to do the kind of like old school thing with,
Ooh.
They just sound like bass. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Yeah. It's got that like Jamerson cream.
Yes. And with a pick, they're like, they do that kind of like.
Yes.
They're just so like even and old school, and every note, even up high, has like a bunch of low end. So I have used so many different brands and gauges and styles of flat wound strings over the years, and for the old school, these are not like modern bright sounding flats. There are other flats that I would recommend in that zone, like Fender 9050s are great for that. Even the Diodario Chromes, the Dunlop flats are nice and bright out of the pack. These are like dead and
beautiful.
But dead in a pleasant way, and not dead where they're not going to sustain. So like check it out. Like they just cruise.
Very nice.
They cruise.
Damn.
And there's that G, and it just lasts and lasts. And so that's cool. Right? That's cool. So those are what, $46?
45, yeah, 46, 45.95.
Yeah.
Man, you know, I have to add more stuff to my Christmas list.
I know. Listen, I'm a salesman, but I'm not trying to be. It's just general. It's honestly
comes out of
stuff
you.
that I love. I do. I love it.
You
I
are
also
just-
love that there are people that are making things that are so awesome.
Yes.
Like I love that about
Absolutely.
products, like specific niche products that are meant to solve a problem or fill a gap. And people devote their lives to the designing of that stuff. And I don't know. I think it's really cool. Shaz, can we talk about straps for a moment?
Hell yeah.
All right, check it out. There's two kinds of straps, you guys. I've got a strap from Couch. Couch, for sure, makes the coolest straps in the game. But these lean kind of more like rock and roll vibes. This is like seatbelt straps, right? This is one that I use all the time. It's like the teal seatbelt strap with the white faux leather ends. They're all like, I feel like it's mostly recycled materials, and they don't use real leather. So, you know, that's either a plus or a minus in your book. I've found it to be totally fine. The material wears really well. Like I don't have anything against using leather at all, but this company is all like, it's like a vegan company. And so
nice.
If that matters to you, this is very cool. And they do dead stock luggage. So like dead stock upholstery from cars and from luggage
nice.
to make straps, like recycle that material. It's super cool. They do custom stuff too. The seatbelt straps are $22. Best seatbelt strap ever, I think. And then, you know, it goes up from there. So check out Couch. I've been using their stuff forever, and it's so awesome. Look at all those, Sharon.
You're beautiful. I've
Those
never
straps.
heard about them. Thank you.
Oh,
Did not know.
they're the best. Also,
That's a great name, by the way.
I know, it's cool. The first strap I ordered from them, they sent me a receipt, and on it someone had drawn Admiral Akbar from Star Wars, who famously, he has a famous line in Star Wars where he says, "It's a trap," right? But he was saying, it's a strap.
Oh
And
my God.
listen, I don't know if they peeked into my world somehow and saw that I was a huge Star Wars fan, but they made an Admiral Akbar joke on my receipt, dude. You make an Admiral Akbar joke on my receipt?
Oh.
I am a customer for life.
I
So-
see that.
Couch. Hey, let's go to the other end of the branch in terms of straps, Sharon. Let's move over to LK straps. Now, listen. This is going to be a little more deluxe. This is also going to be the wide strap vibe. We got Verdine White on the page, but we got Bootsy Collins. We got Michael League
so many people
on the page. We got Nicole Rowe playing with Incubus with one of these straps. Felix Pastorius. Holy crap. It's a who's who of bass radness on their website. They made a strap for me a long time ago, like a custom Blade Runner strap. This is Joy from Blade Runner 2049, because I am a nerd and I'm proud of it. I love the leather he used. Just super cool. The way they're stitched, the kinds of leather he uses, it's just beautiful. But they are not cheap. I think probably the most inexpensive strap is $200. And I think they go up to...
There was 171. Right? He has a lot of sales, though. And I believe he also exclusively uses recycled leather, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, which is cool. So if that's important to you, there's that, too. Yeah, so he's out on the streets. He's out on those mean streets finding cool leather, you know? Yeah. That's cool. And he'll do custom designs. I think they can range up to in the 300 neck of the woods, but you can get a strap from him for $200. So like, if you want to get somebody like a beautiful gift, like this is a really nice considered gift. Like, and even if the bass player in your life has a strap, right? Like another one, like a really nice leather strap.
Absolutely. I will never say no to straps. I don't know anyone who will say no to straps.
Classy. I kind of roll seatbelt strap. I love the slip and the feel of a seatbelt strap, but I toured with this for a while, and I gotta say it's pretty nice. And a little ASMR, right? I mean, you know, it's got that. Seatbelt strap doesn't do that, right? All right, Sharon, where are we going next? What's going on? Ooh, are we gonna go to your IEMs?
My IEMs.
Let's go.
We just talked about these on a recent pod, but they're so good.
Yeah.
Ian, have you bought a pair of these recently?
You know that I have, Sharon Reynolds. Look at that. I got some right here.
Does this make me
these
an
are the
influencer?
Linsouls. You are an influencer. You influenced me directly. And again, this was not something where like, oh, Linsoul is, paying Sharon to. You had a nice set. We did an IEM podcast. Shout out to you, Sharon, for just being so awesome and doing podcasts with me. We did a podcast episode about IEMs and asked the question, is the amp dead? Talked about silent stages. And, I have some West tones that I really like. But Sharon, you went hard for these because you had some that you lost. And then you bought these as a replacement, as like a cheap replacement, right? And what happened? They ended up you use them still. Are you using them now?
I use these for tours, so I have them packed away in a pack that goes with me on tour because I'm very prone to losing things. So I have these in my desk, which are my old Shures that were gifted to me, way more expensive and actually way more painful to me as well.
Yeah.
But I wear these on for shorter amounts of time than those. But yeah, $50. I mean, you've tried them. I love them. My whole band essentially replaced their ranges of in-ears to use this when we're on tour.
What I would say about these is like they were, I couldn't believe how nice actually the build was. You had mentioned on the podcast, you're like, they might not be, but I was kind of expecting them to be like really maybe not cheap. Great, but I feel like the build is nice. They're kind of heavy in like a satisfying way. The cable into them is nice. Even the tips that they give you. The problem for me is I have like big ear canals. TMI. It's just true. Hey, right? It's just true. But I like, so the biggest tip that comes in a pack like this doesn't fit. And I'm like one of the weird, I need to order like bigger ear canal pieces. But what I thought they sounded great. They have a ton of like top, like really beautiful, like crispy top end. It seemed like the bass was good, although my seal wasn't fully happening because of my stupid big ear holes.
Ginormous ears.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, that's on the list. And listen, if you don't have a set of earphones, IEMs, like why not? You just give these a try first, and then you can always go up. You can always spend a gazillion dollars on these, but maybe you don't need to, and that's cool, right? That's cool. Okay. Moving on to the bass setup. Now, look, this is a little bit tricky because you might have to research who's good at this in your town, and you maybe don't want to take your bass player's bass away from them and have a sneaky setup done on it. But what you could do is maybe gift certificate, something from a shop to do a bass setup. If you've heard your bass player complain about, oh God, the weather changed and my bass is wonky. Mm-hmm. I don't know, Sharon. I feel like setups are, depending on what needs to be done, range from $50 to $150. Yeah. And I will say, like, if my wife was like, hey, for your birthday or for Christmas, the holidays, I got you. I called Overman Guitars. Shout out Wyatt Overman. Amazing. In St. Paul. If you're Minneapolis or St. Paul, Overman Guitars is the place to go. And they're, and if she were like, hey, I got you a bass setup, you can bring it into Overman next week. I'm like, I would be pumped about that. I would be pumped.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. So, okay. That's bass setup. What else we got, Sharon? Oh, we got cables. Now, look, there's a ton of cables out there. Last year, I had talked about 3 different manufacturers or 3 different people that were doing custom cables. I mentioned Ray Raydecker. He's still out there doing it. And I mentioned also X-Bass, which is a friend of mine named Dave Lowe. He's still doing it as well. But I have to give it up to Caulfield. They are so consistent. Their social media presence is awesome. Their customer service is awesome. They're on it. They're stocking all the new colors. Like, you can go, Sharon's got the site up. Seeing all this stuff is great. I really like the default cable that they use, and it's great. So I've got one here. I've toured with this stuff. I play gigs with it. I record content with it. I have this aqua color. I love this color in general.
Beautiful. Absolutely.
And it's just this is a thick cable because it's like a, high quality, low capacitance, open sounding cable, if you believe in that stuff, which I do. But it's really easy to move. Mm-hmm. Sometimes, I don't know, Sharon, if you've ever had braided cables that feel like they're kind of moving you around the stage.
Oh yeah.
Or
absolutely.
They're kind of hard to coil, or I don't know. You just feel
amazing.
Like
you're going to break them more easily.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And these feel really sort of soft in a way that's cool. Also, Asher, who runs Caulfield, will do a thing. I love that he does this. And I think a lot of places do, but I have 2 right angles, but they're not the same. This is a standard right angle, and this one is for cup jacks. It gives you a little bit more, you can plug it into telly style cup jacks, because I have a few things like that, or a recessed pedal jack in a pedal board. So I love this configuration of right angle, telly right angle. It's my favorite. Yeah.
We gave away 5 of these earlier this year, actually at the beginning of the year, for our Wabas Win a Bass Build School giveaway. Yep. And I had 5 of these at my house before we shipped them off, and I was in tears, guys, that I was not one of the winners for these. I was really hoping people would not they'd be like, "Oh, I wanted a bass, I got a cable, I'm not gonna claim it," so that I got to keep it. I did not get to keep a single one of those cables. So to whoever won them, good on you for wanting the cables, despite them not being basses. But also,
they're awesome. I just wanted to show you this too. This is a finish called Espresso, which is just freaking delicious and cool. And you can also, with Caulfield too, you can choose the way, the shrink colors. So not only the cable color, but if you want white shrink ends or black, or, they let you do all that. And if that matters to you, then it's cool. If it doesn't, it's fine.
It's a fashionable cable.
Yeah. And I've never had one die, and Asher is just cool. Family run business. I love them. So that's my cable recommend for you. I think they're great. Okay. And that, sorry, I didn't mention the price. That's going to be in the $60 zone and up. But I think you get what you pay for with cables. So there you go. Hey, check this out. We're moving on to another content creator thing. And my wife bought me one of these, I think for Christmas. And I remember thinking like, oh, I don't know if that I'll ever use that. I don't know if I will. And then I use it every day of my life. Emily Allison, you are a star. This is an RGB light. I guess this is the G2. I think this is the same one that I have. I don't know, Sharon. Maybe you have a better rec, but this is what's behind me all the time. Or it's sometimes like if I'm on a call, I have it here and it lights. Right? I've got a fancy light in my space here, but this is behind me providing
hair
that
light.
glow.
Yeah.
What's it called? Hair light?
Hair light. Or, I mean, there's different terms for it, but yeah, one of them is hair light.
It's so rad. And you can change the colors and you can change, right? And so even if you put it behind you, you can change the color of your background if you shine green or red, or you can change the warmth of the... I don't really know what I'm talking about with lights, actually. I'm just realizing I'm like, you can change the color
glows.
and the warmth. But
Light.
I was shocked at how much this has, like, how much I've used it. Mm-hmm. And when I've done tours and stuff, and I'm like, oh, I know I want to shoot some content, I'll bring this because it collapses down, stick it in a bag, super easy to bring, battery lasts a long time.
If you like to dabble in video, even just remotely, if you like to have decent lighting for your Zoom call, there is never enough lighting.
That's right.
I have so many lights, and if you gifted me a light, I would still be super happy because, I mean, there's so many uses for lighting.
Yeah.
So I have like 7 lights back here. They're not all on.
Yep.
But I use them in different like situations and whatnot. So yeah, lighting is a good way to go.
Totally. And if you see 70 bones, you're like, oh, that's kind of a lot for a little. Trust me, it will just, whoever you give it to will love it and use it all the time.
Can't go wrong with lights.
If you have calls, if you're shooting content, it's fantastic. So, okay, ready for the next one, Sharon? This is a little bit of a outlier, but I'm pumped. This is a Casio watch. Now, listen. Now, you're making a face.
I smell fingernail clipper.
You do? You're making a face. And look, I am not a watch guy, right? I've never been a watch guy. But I have friends that are watch guys. And Spencer Lull, bless his heart, gifted me a watch. And he was like, I don't know, man. He's like, it's a risk, because he's a watch guy. But I've never been. In fact, I bought a watch one time and I wore it and it was kind of expensive. And then I'm like, I'm not a watch guy. And I returned it. I sent it back. I'm like, I'm not this guy. But what I've learned is that if you like, or if you're watch curious, okay? If you're watch curious, look at that calculator watch, Shaz. That shit
My
right there
dad used to
dope.
have. My dad used to have.
Yeah, well, your dad's awesome, Sharon. Your dad is awesome because that is rad. So the thing about Casios is they're super nostalgic. They're super inexpensive. This is a Casio G-Shock. This is called a Casio Oak G-Shock, and it's yellow. And look, I never in 1,000 years would have bought this for myself, like a yellow watch. But I got to tell you, worn it out, I get more compliments on this watch than I have of like almost any article of clothing, hat, shoes, whatever, ever. Like people are like, dude, like nice G-Shock. And the funny thing is, here's the hack. If you're like, I kind of want to be a watch person, but it's so expensive. These aren't, but they're still somehow like respected. Like, you know, when you roll in and you've got a Squier P-base, Shaz, and it's like the real ones know that that's dope. They're like, oh, those Squiers are actually like super dope. That's what this is.
Can we do a survey here in the comments? Is this a guy thing? Are watches a guy thing? Because I feel like they are.
Well, yeah, okay. I guess maybe I hadn't taken that into consideration. Buy this for your guy base, but I mean, I've looked at the analytics though of this channel, Sharon. Do you know how it breaks down?
Well, yeah, I know. There's like me and like 3 more, and then there's all dudes. But for my 3 more gals in the audience, let me know down in the comments, please. watches?
Yeah, but
I mean, I have an
feel
Apple
like she's
Watch.
got one on right here. I feel like she's got one on right here. Yeah, maybe you're not buying a G-Shock for your lady, but there's some kind of sick Casios. All I'm telling you is that Casios are really like well made and they're respected. So you're gonna, if you wear one, like the watch folks are gonna be like, oh, cool. And look, that may not matter to you at all. May not matter to you at all. But if you're if you're insecure like I am, and you're like, I think I got a cool watch on, right? I think guys, do I have a cool watch on? If you're wearing a Casio, the answer is yes, Sharon. The answer is yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a talk with Spencer.
Spencer bought it for me.
I know.
This was a gift from Spencer. I love this watch. I'm sticking to it. Get your bass player a Casio watch. It's going to make their day. Holler at me if you agree in the comments. We're moving on. Sharon, we're moving on to concert tickets. I think this was your recommend, actually.
Yes, it was my recommend.
This is such a good idea.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a great idea. A lot of times, maybe your bass player or you is out there playing. Maybe they don't get a lot of, they go see a lot of shows because maybe they're out doing the shows. What if you buy a concert ticket experience for your bass player so they can go out and see some music, get inspired, feel that
enjoy someone else doing the music. Yeah. And maybe I feel like maybe I put down $100 here. Maybe that is like 1989 pricing for like 2 concert tickets. Probably an indie band-ish. You got like $100 at this point, like 60 to 100. And then the minute you're trying to, I was looking at My Chemical Romance tickets the other day.
Yeah, spendy.
Well, I mean, it's also this problem with Ticketmaster and whatnot. Like, people buy them and then resell them. So they initially started at like 60 and now everything is like $300.
Yeah.
So that's a whole different podcast episode. But so, yeah, those things are a bit more pricey.
Well, it's a great idea. And whenever I see a show, I'm like, why do I not go to more shows? Like, man. And so if you're not the type of person that's going to buy a concert ticket for yourself, if someone buys them for you, love it. Love that idea.
Great for date night. Just saying.
Oh, yeah. Definitely. You pumped? Someone taking you out to a show? Shaz, would you like that?
Yeah, I absolutely would like that. I would totally go see a show.
Okay, take Sharon out to see a show, everybody. Hey, next up is a lesson. This was actually from Scott. Yes. Scott was like, hey, you could hit up your favorite bass player on the internet, on Instagram probably, DM them and ask them if they do private lessons and spend an hour with the likes of Gary Willis. We just wrote down the people that came to mind. Gary Willis, Evan Marion, I believe he does this. Bubby Lewis, I believe he does it. Jonathan Marin, I believe he does or did. I used to. I don't anymore. But Sharon, do you do that? Do people reach out to you for in-person or like Zoom one-on-one lessons?
I have never talked about it. Like, I don't promote that. And yeah, I don't know how I would deal with it, actually, if someone approached me about it. But probably. Right. Well, it depends on it.
Don't reach out to Sharon about that.
I'm very insecure about in-person.
Well, you know, it's a problem, it's a podcast to talk about insecurities. I want to be a watch guy, don't know how. You maybe want to get into online lessons, you don't know how, except you're in online lessons so much. You would just do what you do, but with just one-on-one. I get it, though. It is sort of like, it's a different level when you're just with one person versus you're teaching a course.
What if they come in and they're like, I have this question, and I'm like, I don't know, I've been struggling with the same thing. That's my big fear. What if they come with the one thing that I don't know? Like you're going to get outed. Yeah. And it's like, I don't know how to do that. You need to maybe do a pre-test, like a pre-lesson interview. You're like, talk to me about how much you know. Where are you on this? Okay, great. I might be able to help you.
Oh my God. I remember for SBL when I used to do student focus, there'd be people like, hey, I'm wondering how you would navigate the giant steps chord changes and what substitutions you would do. And I'd be like, is there a bass player in the house? Does anybody know if, because it's certainly not me. Like, it's certainly not me. So
I'm going to get a lot of hate for this. But it's like, giant steps? Give me that. You just
you tear it up. Ooh. Before we get into
Giant
more
Steps
trouble.
has such a reputation at Berkeley. It's very funny, which is why I made that joke.
Like, shh. Let me give you a My Girl instead. Let's talk about some I Want You Back by the Jackson 5. Let's get some Wilton Felder in the house. Can you pocket that,
Okay,
Jazz Bro?
Wait. Now, you brought up Giant Steps. I'm sorry, Connor, who's probably going to edit this, and he's going to be really pissed that I added this in here. But you have to see this.
Okay. Oh, my God. You are the worst.
This is going to be good. Oh, wait. This is going to be good. And we're going to add it to the edit because it is the funniest thing that lives on the internet.
This is Katy Perry, Giant Steps, but...
This is someone who took Katy Perry's Roar and added the Giant Steps chord progressions behind it.
Oh, my God.
And tuned the melody to fit it. And it is by far the best thing that lives on the internet and in my head, rent-free.
I used to bite my tongue and hold my breath, scared to rock the boat and make a mess. So I said quietly, agreed politely. I guess that I forgot I had a choice. I let you push me past the breaking point. I stood for nothing, so I fell for everything. You held me down, but I got up, already brushing off the dust. You hear my voice, you hear that sound, like thunder gonna shake the ground. You held me down, but I got up. Get ready, cause I've had enough.
Jeez.
I see it all, I see it now. I got the eye of the tiger, a fighter, dancing through the fire.
You are welcome. Other colleges have...
Berkeley jokes,
yes,
jokes.
Absolutely. Other colleges have fraternities. If you go to a Berkeley party, you're just sitting in front of a screen and there's 30 people watching this video.
And you're watching that. I mean, I prefer the original. I'm just going to say it.
Wait, Giant Steps the original or Katy Perry the original?
I was referring to Katy Perry.
I mean,
I feel like now would actually, I'm going to jump here a minute. Let's just talk about this SBL membership because look, we're talking about all this stuff that you can buy. And these, look, hey, products, sure. But they're Band-Aids. Huh, Sharon? Huh? If we get down to the nitty-gritty, right? A strap ain't going to make you a good bass player. A beautiful yellow G-Shock is not going to make you a great bass player. But you know what will? Sharon, take us there. What's going to make you a great bass player?
The SBL membership.
The SBL membership, y'all. You know what it is? Yeah, you're going to get on board. You're going to check out Player's Path with all these songs, trajectory from 1 to 9. 1, very simple. 9, very hard. You're going to learn some things along the way that you're going to want to do some deep dives into players' paths or learning pathways. So you're on the Player's Path learning these songs. You're going to jump into the learning pathways. There's a funk learning pathway. There's walking bass. There is a beginner learning pathway. What else is there, Sharon? There's soul and R&B.
Oh, there's
learning
so many.
Pathway.
But also, there's so many programs that are included, like mentors, which then kind of goes back to like having lessons with Gary Willis. I mean, you kind of get that included in the SBL membership.
Gary's once a month on a Monday. So we do this thing called mentors, and there's a wide variety of people that teach on that. Gary Willis is one of them. I'm one of them. Jonathan Marin has done it. Also, Michael League has done it. Jacob Umansky from Intervals talks about modern metal and slapping and tapping, and it's incredible. There's so many things. Yeah, there's a lot to it. So check it out. SBL membership. It's $200 for a year. Are you kidding me? That's a bargain, ladies and gentlemen.
Cheaper than I thought.
Bargain. It's $197 even. Come on. You can get free 2 weeks. Of course, we talk about this all the time, but sometimes I feel like we don't actually like go into depth and talk about what it is.
Yeah.
So you get a little bit there. But yeah, you can test it out for 2 weeks, see if it's right for you. But if the bass player in your life is going, I keep buying this gear, or like, but I don't really know what I'm doing, kinda. Like, you know, like I need to learn about chord tones, or I need to learn how to walk, or I need to learn how to read music, or whatever skill it is for the bass guitar. Are you kidding me? We've got it in spades at the SBL Academy. So check that out. That is scottsbasslessons.com. You can check it out there. So yeah, come on. Now it's back to Band-Aids. It's just back to products, Sharon. Back to retail therapy. Are you ready? Next up, Dunlop System 65 setup kit. Okay.
Wow.
Look at that.
Beautiful.
Now listen, you need lotions and potions, huh? You need tools, huh? You need maybe, you know, microfiber cloths, huh? Maybe some string cutter, string winder. Maybe a multi-tool to change, you know, to adjust the truss rod, the action at your bridge. The coolest thing about this system, actually, though, I have it here, is the magnetic tray. Come on. Are you kidding me? Look at this. I put that metal thing in there. Is it
already
falling?
Called you out on this the other day on the meeting. You want to tell them what happened?
Wait, what happened? What happened?
I was
I can't
at
remember.
your house.
Oh, that's right.
And we were taking out screws and we lost one.
We did. You know, so then I'm down on the carpet trying to, you know what? That's because this was in the overflow section. I hadn't busted this thing out yet. But a little tray, like if you're changing the battery cover on your bass, if you are, you know, changing a pick guard, you know that deal of like you take out a bunch of screws? Hell, this would be incredible for your Home Depot build. You know what I'm saying?
That's true, actually.
Or your
Yeah.
IKEA build,
Yeah.
right? You got a little cup and all the stuff sticks in it because it's a freaking magnet. How does it work, Sharon? Magnets. Am I right? How do they work? I don't know.
Question.
I'm never going to know. I'm never going to know. No one knows, actually, Sharon. No one knows how magnets work. No one. So, hey, the Dunlop System 65. Look at all that stuff.
That's
You get
so
a
cool.
mat,
The
too.
neck thing?
Yeah, you get a neck thing. Yep. That's so, you know, you lay your bass down. It's all the stuff to work on your bass. That's very cool. The next thing on the list is the Music Nomad tools. So check it out. If you are like me and you have some of that stuff already, like if you have polishes and things that you want, but you just want like a super dope set of tools. So I don't know if you're like me, but I've got like a, you know, this essentially like a Tupperware just full of like random crap, just random Allen wrenches and just random tools. And I'm always, you know, it's like, oh, I need to adjust the thing. And I try like 17 Allen wrenches until I get the right one. Mm-hmm. These are super, super nice. And it's expensive because they're all machined to be like exacting in fit. So there's this thing that happens with that toolkit where like you get the right size and you push it into your bridge and it's like
Perfect.
and you're like, oh, that feels different, you know?
Oh my God.
It's very, very nice. So it's all of the sizes that you need. And I mean, just this thing too, like check this out. The back end of this, you can put over your input jack nut and tighten it.
Oh.
So, right. It's like hex.
Oh.
Yeah. So like if you have.
Multifunctional.
Exactly. Yes. And it's small. I take these on the road because I moonlight. When I'm out with Eric Hutchinson, I do his like guitar teching too, because I love that stuff. So I change strings for him. I set up his guitars and I just bring these with me and you kidding me? We're good to go. Damn. Those are great. That was another, my wife bought those for me. How cool is that?
Can I borrow Emily just for a year?
I know, dude. She's the best. Now, did I tell her, did she ask me, what do you want for Christmas? And I said, ooh, these tools would be nice. Maybe I did. But that's what we're doing right now. We're giving you ideas, guys. I've done the research. Sharon's done the research.
Emily's done the research.
Yeah, she has. Hey, it's getting more expensive. You still with us? Check it out. We're going to move on to Pedalboard now.
Ooh.
Look, now this deal here, Mono Case makes, I think, a really amazing pedalboard.
Yes.
This is very small. So for me, this would be like if you're a bass player or you want something to travel with. I tour with this rig. So I have the Mono Case or the Mono Light pedalboard here in silver, which is the first one on that link there that Sharon's got. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've got a power supply mounted under. I've got 3 pedals on top, right? And then this whole thing drops into the mono tick, which is just this little case. Do I hate that it's called the tick? Yes.
Do you know why it's called the tick?
Yeah, I know why it's called the tick. It's because it goes onto the case, and I'm going to show you the case.
No, but tick in French means bag.
What? Hold on. What?
I'm pretty sure this is correct. Wait, let me.
Are you sure?
I am pretty sure
Tick
my
in
fifth
French
grade
means bag, but they don't spell it TIC.
Oh, maybe I'm wrong. Wait. I'm pretty sure it is bag in French. Oh.
That's a sack.
Maybe I'm wrong. Pretty sure
You are wrong.
Maybe I'm wrong.
Sharon.
I'm pretty sure I'm
Look,
right.
I wish
somewhere.
that was why. I wish that they were like, oh, let's do a cool French name. But I don't think so, Sharon. I think it's because it goes onto their cases. It like hooks onto their cases. And then it's like.
Pretty sure I'm right, though. I'm pretty sure I learned this in
on
4th grade.
one of their cases.
One of their cases. I don't know. Oh, well.
So
I can't find this one, though. Which is it this?
The tick? Just type in tick in the search.
It's with a TK or CK?
TICK, yeah. There it is.
Yep.
I saw it. I saw it for a moment
Yeah,
there.
it's here.
Yeah, it's cool. I've toured with one of these setups for a long time. Now, even though I don't love the name of it, I think it's an incredibly functional, incredibly cool product. There you go. Yeah. Yep. So that's why I have here that, if you get the board and the tick, it's going to set you back about $230. But then you have a really nice, high quality sort of travel solution. And if you click that third picture, Sharon, click that third pic.
Oh, yeah.
So that's why it's called the tick, because it actually hooks onto the case. Now, are
Like
we going to talk about the case? Are we going to talk about the case coming up? I mean, I feel like maybe we just talk about it now. What about a gig bag, huh? What about a gig bag? I have used these mono Vertigos. That's down the list a little, Sharon. I think a couple. Yeah, the awesome gig bag mono Vertigo. These are $270. You see it on the list. It's just a few down.
I found it.
In the notes, yeah. Yeah, right? $270. They're beautiful. They have like this boot on the bottom and there's tons of padding. So if it gets dropped, if that happens, right? Which it does all the frickin' time. I've never had a bass get damaged in one of these, and I've done, I would say, probably hundreds of flights. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I got one of those. They're pretty damn good.
They're awesome.
Yeah.
So that's on the sort of the low end. I'll show you a fancy gig bag. It's behind me. You see it back there. But before we get there, let's also talk about, yeah, it's cool, right? There's that cradle, the neck cradle system in there. It's awesome. Scott had this as a suggestion. This is interesting. This Pedalboard service. Creation Music Company. Now I thought, oh, that'll be a couple $100. I was wrong. Sharon, it's right below the mono Lite.
Yep.
Yeah. So this is where like you can send your pedals to this company. There's a lot of companies that do this, but this is one of probably the most popular. These guys are called Creation Music Company, and they will essentially build your pedal board for you. So if you've got a bunch of pedals, but you are like, oh, I don't want to go get like dual lock, and I don't know about all the patch cables and power supply, and like what a drag. Like click on one of those click on one of the sort of underside shots. Yeah. Like look at how they route cables, like look at that.
But what if you want to change something?
Well, right. So this is maybe for the person that wants to lock in a setup for a little while. This is not for somebody that wants to, swap stuff in and out. I think a service like this is, you're going to set it and you're going to use that pedal board in that configuration for like a year. Or you're going to do a tour with it. Or, a lot of church musicians too will do this kind of thing because they've got, their whole world is in the pedal board, and that maybe lives at the church, or, I've seen Church World. This is really popular, but it's cool. I kind of like this idea of like, hey, I'm giving you a gift certificate to have a really amazing pedal board built for you, and you can send all your stuff away and you can work with them on building it. I don't know. Like if someone did that to me, I'd be pumped actually. So, but I thought, oh yeah, that's going to be, it says $99 there, but if you go down there, a small setup starts at $599. So
wait, deposit only is $99?
The deposit is $99. Deposit. So if you're building that board, the entry to that is $599. Now, you know, there are going to be people out there that's like, yeah, I use it every day. I use it every week. That is totally reasonable. And there are going to be people that are like, no, thank you. I'll put that on a piece of wood that I buy from Home Depot and, you know, wrangle it down with zip ties and Velcro. And that's fine too. But yeah.
What does small switcher mean? I don't even know what half of these things mean.
It's just all the stuff to make your pedal board work.
I mean, it gets so expensive.
It gets expensive. Yeah, that's beyond our scope, Sharon.
That's a new base.
That's beyond our scope. Let's keep moving.
Reeling it in.
Let's keep moving. Hey, I get asked all the time about the stands that are behind me. So, like, I have bases in a stand here. I have some bases also too on the floor here, and those stands are the K&M Guardian. People ask me about, I swear, I get a DM a day about this because people see this shot all the time. So I didn't actually have these shelves made custom. These are just bookshelves that I pulled the shelves out of. My wife, shout out to Emily again, she painted all of that like amazing sort of matte black. And then I discovered that this stand fit perfectly into those shelving spaces. Now it's expensive. You see that and you go, whoa, $270 for a guitar boat? I don't know. But I'm telling you, I bring that to sessions. The material that they use, the white material, doesn't mark up your instruments. So you can leave a bass in the stand. Like say there's a couple basses you don't play. Maybe they're white or cream colored or whatever. And you just, you know, you're storing them. They're out. You pick them up occasionally, but this won't turn them yellow. from sitting in the stand or leave marks on them. Yeah. Safe for nitro finishes. They're really cool. They fold up. They're beautiful. Everything about them is soft. So like, you know, where you can just like pop it in. Yeah. And they've got that, they've got like a pick holder thing. I thought that was so dumb. Until I used it on a gig where I was playing a bass. I usually stick a pick in like the bridge of my bass or like in my mouth or whatever, but I couldn't because I was singing and I had a bass that I couldn't stick a pick in. So I was like, oh, I'm going to use the stupid pick holder on the back of this. And it wasn't so stupid. It was incredible, actually. So that is the coolest multi-guitar stand that I've ever found. Like way nicer. Also to fold it, you just push the top and it goes like click. It does this satisfying click and then it folds. It's freaking this awesome.
This is SBL's dive into ASMR content today's episode.
I know, it totally is. I wish I had one that didn't have anything in it so I could show you the click. It's pretty great. Oh my God. Next on the list, Scott talked about this. This is ridiculous. A spa day. He's like, what about a spa day or a massage? And he's like, what about for two? And I'm like, oh bro, like you and me? He's like, yeah, bass bro, spa day. And I'm like, that's funny. I looked it up though. It was his idea. You can get a spa day, a crispy, cheap spa day for about 300 bones. That's about as cheap as you find it. For two, yeah, you're looking at $600. But treat your bass bro out to a spa day? I don't know, Sharon, you into that? Like, is that something that you want to do with a friend? Like, are you taking a friend for a spa day? Does that sound delightful to you, or are you like, nah?
I don't know. I might go solo.
Yeah, right.
Or with a partner. Not sure about fellow basses.
It's a pretty like intimate gift, right? Like you'd have to know somebody pretty well for that not to seem odd.
There's a lot of moments where you are not fully dressed in this situation.
Yeah.
Most bassists are dudes. No offense, Ian. Probably not going to a spa day with you anytime soon.
No. Listen, it was not a request or an invitation.
Oh no,
this was actually a Scott request of me. He was
I am so glad he invited you and not me. I am very, very
let's not get HR involved here.
Happy.
It's all good. Everything's on the up and up. It's all good. Yeah, Scott's like, you and me, dude. I'm like, woohoo. So, hey, if you've got a brother from an English mother like I do, you might consider this be pretty fun.
I want to do a before and after interview. If you guys ever do that, I want to interview you before you go in, and then I want to ask you how comfortable it was when you were after the fact.
Look, we've got to do one more gig bag, and then I'm going to talk about some pedals and basses, and we're going to speed round it. Okay, so check it out real quick. I got to talk to you about this. This would be like a heavy gift. This is an amazing bag made by Glenn Cronkhite. They used to be made by Mr. Glenn Cronkhite himself out in the Bay Area. He used to work for Reunion Blues. This company got purchased actually by a Minnesota company, Minneapolis, I think. I don't know them, but I have one that Glenn built for me years and years ago. They are incredible. They're like heavy, beautiful, thick. They stand up on their own. They're not floppy. It's like horse. It's like, like the straps are like what they would use on like what's it called? What do you put on a horse? A saddle.
That. Oh,
yeah, like hardcore, just like cool hardware. Just freaking awesome. But they start. I think you can get a canvas with leather accent bag for in the $500 to $600. Leather bags get up to, they can like $800-900. It's expensive, but oh my gosh! If you're like, I want to buy something so nice for the bass player in my life, this is pretty dope.
That's pretty damn nice.
I know, they're really good.
Dang.
Okay, let's move on. Hey, we're gonna roll through some pedals. Check it out.
Let's go.
This is gonna take us back a little bit in terms of price. Now, I just am listing fun pedals, okay? I'm not going to talk about anything that's not fun. And Sharon just pulled it up. Canvas tuner. Now you're thinking to yourself, Ian, tuners aren't fun. Ha ha! Well, you're wrong. You're wrong. I scoff at your tuner. I scoff at your non-belief in a tuner being fun.
I agree.
This is really fun. This is an amazing tuner. The Canvas tuner by Walrus. The thing that you can do with this that's so cool is you can orient it either direction on your pedal board, and the display will flip. You can also put any photo you want. When it's in bypass, it can display anything you want. A photo of your family, a photo of your bow wow, a photo of your favorite bass, a photo of your favorite bass influencer. I don't know. Just talking out loud here.
There was people, when we were giving this away, this item, there was people who were saying you should put like bass cheat notes, like scales or
totally. Set list.
Yeah, all of that onto that pedal. That's a genius idea.
Totally. And I've seen people do that, like put a set list for a small set on there. So cool. This is a great tuner. It's power hungry. You just have to have the right power supply to power it. But if you do, you're good to go. Next up, Octave pedal. Oh, this pedal, the Boss OC5. I'm picking just like the most general, awesome sounding, like there is nothing better than an Octave pedal on the bass. And this was the OG. This is the version they make now. So sick. OC5. I used this in a shootout that we did, like a blindfold thing with Scott, and it was super awesome. So check that out. Takes everything you play down an octave. You get into synth bass zone. It's the dopest. Next up is what? The envelope filter. This is really cool. This is the MXR bass envelope filter. And I think whenever I hear one of these on a record, like Addy Oasis had this amazing sounding envelope filter on a record, I'm like, what is that? Stephen Lane on Instagram was playing through a thing. Whenever I ask somebody, whenever I'm like, what is that filter? They're always like, oh, it's the MXR. It is like such an OG. It's great. It's inexpensive at $169. That is my recommend for envelope filter. Yeah. Okay. What's next? Sharon, what's next?
What's next? The next is the Distortion pedal.
Oh, the Jam.
Jam pedal.
Okay. So I just got hip to these guys, and these are handmade in Greece. This is a little more expensive. What's the Jam? They're like $239.
240, yeah. $239.
Yeah. This is like a rat circuit that's made for bass, and it's awesome. They're beautiful. They sound great. It has an extra boost on it as well. So it's sort of like you've got the standard rat sound and then like a gain boost as well.
That's cool.
Clean blend, snake graphics, dope. This is awesome. This is this has been one of my favorite. It's like an aggressive distortion that definitely can get fuzzy. So it's not mild. It's really intense, but it's fun. All of these pedals I'm recommending to you are like, oh, this is so fun. Like a nasty distortion, funky envelope filter, synthy octave pedal, and a canvas tuner that you can put a picture of your dog on. Like, so cool. So freaking cool. Oh, and then, look, the granddaddy of all pedals, the HX Stomp is amazing. If you or the bass player in your life is like loves pedals and wants to, consolidate and be able to program so you have different sets for different artists, this is the best thing in the world. It's the best multi-effects product in terms of sound and ease of use ever. Now, you can take this with a little grain of salt because I make and sell presets for these on my website. So, hey, take it with a grain of salt. I'm just telling you that if you buy my presets, obviously that benefits me. But even if you don't buy my presets, the HX Stomp is incredible. You have one, Sharon?
I can second all of this. 100% HX Stomp all the way. I essentially only use my HX Stomp and I use the rest of my pedals to look nice. The HX is not up there because I actually
because it's on the floor. Yeah, you're using it.
Exactly.
It's in the trenches.
I also do use your presets.
Yeah.
So I do recommend those. I personally would add those to a Christmas list. Just saying. I'm not trying to promote your content here, but
you couldn't have your boy out here like being like, buy my presets, but I do believe in them. I use them every day. So you can check those out if you want to, but HX Stomp, they're $700 and that seems like a lot of money, but it is literally every sound and really, really good versions of every sound.
7 pedals in one, which would run you way more than $600 or $700. So
37 pedals in one. There's so much it can do. Sharon, you are correct. You're moving me along to the Sterling. So let's talk about basses really quick, guys. There's all these basses that you can get. This bass, the reason I'm saying yes to this, you can get a Sterling Ray. So Sterling is sort of like their version of Squier. Ernie Ball's version of Squier by Music Man. Sterling Ray will set you back, what is it, $350?
Yeah, that's cheap.
It's insane. And it's an active StingRay with colors. And the reason I'm saying yes to this is I ordered one of the Joe Dart Sterlings.
You did?
I did.
I'm so jealous. I really wanted to, and then I didn't end up doing it. But is it good?
It's awesome. It was $400. I think I'm going to give it to Dash, actually, my son, and so that he can, like draw on it and put stickers on it, and maybe hopefully play it. We'll see. But it's really nice. Like, it plays great. And it kind of pissed me off how nice it was for $400. So I was like, oh, these are good. So I would say with confidence, it might need a setup. You might need to adjust some stuff. But if you want a StingRay and you want a mint green freaking StingRay, holy crap.
There's some nice colors.
Yeah. The Pueblo pink is dope. I mean, it's cool.
It's brown, isn't it? Okay.
I know.
Moving on.
Like mocha, walnut. I know. Let's move on to the next one. If you need a P bass in your life, I put this one up because Sharon has a version of this bass. This is the Classic Vibe late 50s P bass from Squier, Fender's subsidiary, 470 bones. This is a ripper. And Sharon, you bought a Squier and you use it all the time.
I use it all the time. I love that bass. And you tried it when I was in Minneapolis.
It's awesome. It's awesome. I was like, damn it. Whenever I play like inexpensive basses that are awesome, I'm upset because I've been a fool buying like fancy, freaking stupid, expensive vintage basses. But like, it's a flex to roll in with your Squier and murder. If you're a great player and you play a Squier like Miss Sharon Reynolds, you are just like, everything's coming up Reynolds. You know what I'm saying? It's good. Life is good.
Man, Squier.
Killer.
It's a good bass.
Hey, also, if you want a dope hollow body, look at this. if you want a dope hollow body for $672, you should buy a Guild Starfire 1. Jerry agrees. Or is that Ginger?
No, it's Jerry. She's not supposed to agree. We agreed that she should not be agreeing while I shoot. Jerry!
Hey, that Starfire 1 that they make now with the sort of the like P pickup in it, it's great. I played one of those at a store just to check it out. And I was like, damn it, this is good. I get upset because I'm like, I paid all this money for my vintage one, you know? Like I've got a 67 Starfire that's incredible. This is great. So if you want a short scale, you put flats on it, just killer. It's awesome.
This is good. I've been looking for a hollow body. This is
there
good.
You go,
Thank
Shaz.
you,
That's just that Amazon link. You click it, it's yours. Shows up like tomorrow, today or whatever, you know?
What does it say? It says
Crazy. I guess it's 2 days.
Oh man, Wednesday? Come on, Amazon.
Hey, if you want a jazz bass, let's click that next link. That's a Fender Player 2, and this gets you up into the Fender brand.
Nice.
Hey, a Fender jazz bass. Also, like, look at all these colors. $800 for a nice jazz bass. These are made in Mexico, but I went to a store and played all of these. And they are so great. Again, you'll need a setup, but you might need a setup on a $2,000 bass. Killer kind of like vintage inspired colors. It's very basic. But if you need a jazz bass and you don't want to spend a bunch of money, this is a really nice option. $800.
I am in awe of all of these.
Right?
Bases.
You pumped? Hey, I dug and did that research. Hey, now look, this next one. Click on it. Epiphone Jack Casady.
I'm worried.
This is $800, and this bass is a long scale hollow. So this is not a short scale thumpy hollow body. This sounds like a bigger, airier. There's a gold. Oh yeah.
Damn it.
Like a bigger, airier P bass. This was the bass that like Sean Hurley first started to play with John Mayer with. I had one of these basses for a long time, and I loved it so much that I hunted down the original Gibson, like a frickin' bougie tool.
God, you're so bougie.
I know. I was like, I need to get the Gibson one. And then sometimes I go, God, but the Epiphone one was like better in some ways. It was like meaner, quieter, more stout. The pickup was beefy. $800. This is like, this bass is my pick of all of the basses. Like, it's so good. You can play it anywhere for any style. It's dope. Flats, rounds, killer. And it isn't like a short scale. So if you want a short scale thing, get the Guild. If you want a long scale, that Epiphone is killing. Last, but certainly not least, Sharon Reynolds may have it within fetching distance, is the G&L L2500 Tribute. Had to put an active 5-string in the mix. This is a completely different vibe than the classic kind of passive things that I've been talking about. Yeah, this is like big, mean 5-string. You slap something on that, Sharon.
Oh man, I'm not without breaking all the speakers. It is hot.
Oh, you don't have to. Yeah. Yes, I just want people to hear the high end of it, right? Like the active thing with humbuckers, right? It's like a bigger, meaner sound. Yeah. And we did a podcast with Steve from G&L, Steve Arajo, and we talked about this bass and other basses. And I maybe said that, sometimes G&Ls give me sort of like dad vibes in terms of aesthetic, which is not necessarily a bad thing. But this one is patently not that. Like the matte black block inlay vibe. So it's cool. Yeah. They're making strides over there to kind of update some of the finishes and some of the design. And, for active 5-string that's like really nice quality, this is $949, and it is my last bass pick.
Also, I'm just seeing this. This is completely nothing to do with G&L, but that is very cool that Sweetwater offers Plek Pro setups.
Oh, you can like Plek it at
I did not
Sweetwater?
know that.
Wow.
That is for $300.
Sweetwater.
It's not bad.
Yeah, you get that Plek. You get a bag of candy when it comes to your door too.
Hell yeah.
You know they're going to be checking in on you, wondering how that setup is feeling for the next 5 years of your life.
Nick from Sweetwater, yeah.
I got a guy named Ian.
Oh, really?
How about that?
Of course you did.
I feel like they assign Ian to all the Ians, You guys, that is our list. Sharon, I'm going to check in with you first. How'd I do?
You did very well.
Hell yeah.
I'm happy. You outdid yourself. The only thing that I questioned was, what was it? The watch.
I think you're going to be alone in questioning the watch. I think you're going to be all alone.
Yeah, that's because the percentage of female viewers on the channel is low. That's the only reason I'm going to be alone.
Are you saying that this and potentially the spa day for 2 was a little out of bounds in terms of suggesting it to like a female audience? I mean,
I will take the spa day.
You go with the bestie. Yeah,
I will take the spa. Yeah, I absolutely will take the spa day.
I mean, I feel like all of this stuff is fairly gender neutral, but yeah, maybe I did definitely pick a dude pick here at the Casio G-Shock. But I don't know, man. I don't know. Your lady out there wearing a G-Shock or wearing a Casio, give me a shout.
Yeah, actually, definitely let us know. I want to see how wrong I am about that because I might be very wrong. I'm just not a watch person.
Yeah, well, I wasn't until I had a friend that gave me one of these for a gift, right? So that's what we're talking about. Anyway, you guys, it's so fun. Listen, we've got links in the description for all this stuff. Again, none of it benefits us directly other than the SBL membership. Oh, check it out. ScottsBassLessons.com. Free 14-day trial. I love doing this. Let me know, too, in the comments if you have any racks or you're like, oh, you got it wrong, you missed this, or any recommendations that you have for people. Make friends in the comments. We read this stuff. People go through and check it out. Let us know what you think. And hopefully you get something for yourself or for a bass player in your life. And it makes the holidays a little brighter. You know what I'm saying?
I am a bass player in all of your lives, guys.
Send gifts to Sharon. That's yeah. Got it.
Just kidding.
Thank you so much. It's been so fun. Sharon, thanks for doing this with me. It's awesome.
Of course.
Yeah.
I'm happy to be here.
Guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.